Şimdi EFMC 2020 Barcelona ve Tesis Yönetiminde Yeni Trendler başlıklı konuşmasını sunmak üzere Cifmer Genel Müdürü, EuroFM İspanya Elçisi Sayın David Martinez'i sahneye davet ediyorum.
Hello, thank you. Talking about trends is a very tricky issue. I only have 15 minutes, so I believe I have to speed up to say everything I want to say. Trends are based on the way you are. If I see a trend is you have a short green hair, that could be for a football player or for a DJ, but that's not for you. But if everybody has a green short hair, the trend is something you have to do. So the sooner you know, the better. I'm going to talk about trends in facility management in different areas. The way I use it to classify, I understand FM as a 6 blocks area. First one, we need to talk about corporate real estate. Difference between corporate real estate and real estate. Real estate, I have buildings to get profit. Corporate real estate, I have buildings to give support to my company. There's a very important differentiation. Next one is asset. We talk about asset management, but you understand life cycle. Everything to do with a life cycle, for me, is an asset. Could be a car, could be air conditioning, could be a chair. Anything to do with projects, I talk about changes. Companies need changes. They need to move things, they need to build things, they need to refurbish things. Everything to do with the change, I pull it in this block. Next one is workplace. Workplace is about the environment, how do we work, how do we behave and relate with the buildings. The next one is energy and sustainability. Anything to do with responsibility, social responsibility, I put it here. And facilities services, which facilities services is not facility management. Why do I use this classification? Because it serves all. Every single company has a little bit or a lot of each one of these 6 blocks. Every single one. It depends on the portfolio, it depends if you own the buildings, it depends if you're a manufacturer, it depends if you're a bank. You have all of them, so you can analyze all of them. And funny to say, most of the companies, when the portfolio is an average portfolio, the expenditure is almost the same in all of them. So that's a curious thing. And the second one is because it could be scaled. If I have one building and is rented, my activities in corporate real estate will be I pay the rent. But if I own 50 buildings, I can scale that component not only to pay the rent, but to make sure that the life of the element is in the books. So the trends I'm going to give them for the 6 areas, thinking that facility management has to provide support. If we don't understand that facility management is support, then the trends could go in a different direction. And the actions in the different areas could go in a different direction. Talking about corporate real estate. PropTech. PropTech, probably you heard of it, is the property technology. It's about how technology is entering or intervening with the corporate real estate area. This is happening, and this is real. PropTech is happening in real estate, but it's also happening in corporate real estate. We need to be aware, we need to know what's going on. We have real estate. The real estate companies are the companies that they have a building or a set of buildings and they need to get profit. No matter what you do, I want profit. In the last year, we made half of our projects were for end users, half of our projects were for real estate companies. The real estate companies, they do understand they need facility management. It's very difficult because you need to have an internal dictionary. Because the real estate people, they call asset, and for them are the building. For us, assets is a different thing. For them, property is exploitation for profit. For us, property is a different thing. So we need to translate the concepts, but they really see that they need FM. The third one is the new landlords concept. This is bringing us mixed models in facility management. Many companies, they need less space. Because I need less space, what do I do with the remaining space? Someone clever says, oh, we are going to rent it. And they decide to rent it. So the FM hat has a group of people that they work for them, so I have to give them services. And I have another group of people that they are my tenants. So they are paying to stay in my space. So this is a trend, a very strong trend, and it's happening, and you have to be careful. I don't say it's good, I don't say it's bad, but this is happening. If it happens, you will end up with a mixed model, thinking in the support for your people and the profit you have to provide for that part of this real estate that will become. And the last trend, I think this is consolidated. Most of the companies, they don't own buildings anymore, they are selling the buildings, but they want one big headquarter. Most of the companies have decided, I'm going to make a big one to prove to the market that this is mine, I own it, and I get rid of the rest. So it's not about getting rid of the buildings, because companies have realized if they don't own at least one big representative headquarters, they don't have the right presence in the markets. Next. Next. Next. Yeah, it's the one I've been using. Now, okay, thank you. Asset management. Asset management, remember, was anything to do with life cycle. We like to include in asset management maintenance. Maintenance is nothing to do with the day-to-day with facility services. Maintenance is in asset management because it's a conclusion of owning an asset. Otherwise, you don't do maintenance. The first one is the concept of intelligence maintenance. This is happening. I've seen in the last year many examples. Many companies are investing in virtual reality or augmented reality. Guys wear glasses, they are in front of a machine, and they know what they have to do. And intelligence maintenance means they are collecting so much data, they are putting business intelligence models into the conclusions of a maintenance. We know what's happening with the machine. We know what the machine needs. The maker says this have to do it every 6 months. Well, maybe not, because the machine is not being used. Or you need to do it sooner because it's used more than what you expected. This concept of intelligent maintenance includes preventive, predictive maintenance, and obviously corrective, but also is applying data in real time. This is happening. This is working, so this is nothing of the future. Many companies are doing this. Second one is the machine learning. They are integrating algorithms, they're integrating the way of thinking to determine what the systems need. Companies are investing in their maintenance models, how they should react. And they are using this data to determine what should be done. And this is into maintenance. In the last year, half of the proposals we receive in bidding processes, they already include this. These are the big companies using it. I will tell you, I'll say later why I mentioned this. There is a no purchasing attitude. Companies have realized that by the time you buy something, it's old. Most of you probably, if it's a company, you don't own a car. You have a rent car, you lease, This goes with everything. Why do I buy chairs? Why do I buy furniture? Why do I buy a chilling machine? The energy companies, they've realized this time ago. They have these energy companies where they do is an investment. I pay for the equipment, I invest in the equipment, and I get part of the savings. This concept applies to anything. So the concept of asset as I own the asset is disappearing. And finally, and this is not as sexy as the artificial intelligence or other things, but this is a very, very important thing that is happening. Most of the FM models, you need the OPEX, the operational cost. We do that. We always do that. But the CAPEX, the investment, was somewhere else in the company. Right now, most of the companies are saying, I cannot take decisions in the OPEX without affecting the CAPEX because they get the benefit. So they are bringing these two elements together. The value of this is not the elements, it's who is behind. The finance department are sitting together on the same table with the FM department. And we need to understand, we need to talk. And this is very good, this is very important for us. Project management, we have what we call this proto-construction. We are building before we build. We are seeing how buildings behave, but we are seeing how systems behave. They start interacting with people. There are models that they see how people will behave or how they will perceive buildings and spaces. This is very, very interesting. Obviously, BIM is still a trend, it's growing. COBE is the protocol that you use for the data when you have elements to collect information that they say that you could use it in operational stage. I don't believe it. They are still there, but I don't think they will last longer. BIM keeps growing. One funny thing in the project management area are the changes. For me, anything that has to do with the change is project management. In a company of 1,000 employees, it is accepted that there is 500 moves a year. So 500 people change their position in their desks within a year. Because the workplace strategies are more mobile and you have less assigned desks, there are less moves. This is changing the way that the actions, the activities is held, but it's also the way that the spaces are designed. And it's also saving cost in the department, because many of the activities in the FM department are linked to moves. So this is changing, rearranging the resources I have in my FM department. This is very important. And the last one is the lean strategies. This is there. Everything we do has a lean strategy. We don't want to waste, we don't want to impact, and we want to make sure that the activities of any refurbishment goes well through every area. When they give you the key, you have to be able to use it. It's the same department. And this was years ago, like acting in a different companies. The workplace area. The workplace, I try to change the name of it, because for me, workplace is wider than work, because when you talk about a university, a student in a university is not a workplace, for them it's an environmental, so anything that to do with the space, with the surrounding, with comfort is here. One of the trends is the corporate co-working. Co-working, the co-working companies are losing millions every year, and their value in the stock market grows. It's like, how is this possible? Well, because they think it's a trend, and they see, investors, that this is going to be an important element for them. So co-working is asking the companies, I will take care of it. So co-working is not inside of your company. Co-working is, instead of renting another office and doing everything, I'm renting a co-working space. This is big. This for FM is key. One of my next reports is where FM is in the co-working spaces. Because if companies use co-working, where is the FM? Who is the FM? Okay, not for now. The Frankenstein model. What is the Frankenstein model? Spaces. I want the reception of these guys. I want the meeting room of these other guys. I've seen the lounge of this fantastic, and I want this entrance. This is the Frankenstein model. I see different concepts, and I want to mix them. No, sorry. The workplace strategy, it needs methodology. The workplace needs to understand the work, to understand the population. What do you do, and who are you? How old are you? Women, men, older, younger, directors, trainees. And then you need the workplace, and then you need the workspace. I cannot pick up things and make it work. It's very difficult. But sorry, this is a trend. Many of our clients, they say, we want to do this like Google, or we want to do this. By the way, the ones that were in Dublin, you see how crowded the offices were there. The marketing of the culture and the values. Facility management is used as an excuse to bring talent and retain talent. We have to be sexy, we have to be attractive. And FM, the workplace, is used as a tool for the culture and the values of the company. And well-being is ours. I'm happy. Over the years in facility management, we have lost some things. I think security is not ours anymore. I think security is not FM anymore. Security is IT. Every day I see more and more companies that they are selling their security areas, they are not using people, because at the end of the day, it is a risky thing. So they're using technology. Technology is IT, IT is not ours. So I think we will lose it eventually. Some countries, we already lost it, but we are winning other things. Well-being is ours. Well-being was something that was in human resources, more or less. Now, no, it's ours. We are responsible for the well-being of the employees. In the energy, the first one is, again, artificial intelligence, and this is artificial intelligence. They are using elements to monitor and take decisions in real time. And the real time makes decisions more accurate. When you switch on or you switch off a system, or the lighting or the heating is based on usually times, or the times depending on the conditions. But if you think of any country, here sun rises at 6:02, but here rises at 6:12, 6:20, 6:30, 6:40. If you have a large portfolio, you cannot make a general decision about when do you switch on or off the lights or the heating, because conditions are changing. So time is not an element of a decision. So artificial intelligence is giving you data about real conditions, real occupancy, and is acting on that, on those results. Next one is team up to buy energy. Companies, they see how expensive energy is, how important it is to buy it well, so they are joining and they are buying energy together. A telecom company with a pharmaceutical company, with a construction company, they go together to the energy company and say, hey, we want to buy energy. They get better prices and better conditions than if they do it alone. Next one is the certifications. I called it last year, I do this presentation quite often, and this I've changed it. The certifications are not as cool as they were before. Some countries are new, so they are growing, but if you look at the whole picture, certifications are not growing. They're stable or decreasing if you think that they should grow, because they don't lose them. What they do is they do very, very strong energy policies. The CEO is signing, we are going to do this, and everybody says, okay, we do this. This is stronger than a policy, cheaper, and is tailor-made for what you need. And the last one is the outsourced service. Every need in facility management, I talked is scale. I need this to be clean. And I say, okay, this is a service. Well, maybe it's not a service. Maybe you do a procedure, so everybody clean their desk. Or I do a policy where everybody is responsible for a certain area. Or it becomes a service. Anything, any need in facility management can do this scaling. Energy, I do a policy. You switch off the lights. I do a procedure, I do a policy, or I go to a service and I say, hey, you are responsible for doing this. Years ago, we had some energy managers in the companies. Now we have less energy managers, because this need, which is the management of the energy, has become a service and is outsourced. It's very difficult to find energy managers in the companies, because this is a professional service that you buy and you hire as you need it. So this is one of the trends. So for those energy managers, they need to find jobs inside the companies. And the facility services, which I have a love-hate with this element, because it's what everybody thinks is facility management, and it's not. Facility services has to do with the day-to-day basis. Everything I need to do for a day-to-day, which is important, of course it's important, but it's not facility management. They are facility services, and it's something that has to be done. The first one is the blockchain use. This is real. This is real. Blockchain is used to validate transactions when you talk about incidents, when you talk about demands, when you talk about requests in companies. Many big service providers are providing this. Also in tendering processes. All the documents, all the elements that has to be included in a tender process are validated by a blockchain methodology, where they are saying, yes, these activities are real or not. So this is happening. I think I'm too old for this. Every time I try to understand this, it costs me, so I hope I retire before this is an everyday use. The new players, this is something that we need to be aware. Last year, an IT company won an FM contract in South Europe. So everybody, we were shocked. Because they say, how is it possible that an IT company? So the explanation is, they call it like a business process outsourcing project. So I can outsource anything of a company. That's what the BPOs do. But I never thought that the BPO could take the services. They've done it. And these guys are big. And these guys, they have a big muscle. Is this good or bad? It's good to have competition, because that means that service provider, traditional service providers, has to wake up and say, hey, these guys are knocking the door. The bad thing is the decision-making process of this is cost, speed, efficiency. People are out of the picture. Productivity is out of the picture. Well-being is out of the picture. So if this is a trend and it grows, we will end up buying service hours, not buying services. And the indicators to measure FM will be very, very different. The next one is the big acquisitions. Because the service providers, they have seen this, and they saw it time ago, probably before I saw it, they are buying IT companies. In the last year, 6 of the biggest FM companies have bought an IT company or an IT-related company. Why? Because they need to be there. They need to be able to compete. And that's the way of doing it. And this is a thing, that's why I told you the information before. Many companies are telling me, hey, we want to do an outsourcing process, we want to see a more integrated model, but we don't want to have proposals only for the big FM companies. Because at the end of the day, the big FM companies, the global FM companies, are made by smaller companies that they've been acquired over the time. So a company is not performing the same in Northern Europe than in South Europe, or in South Africa, or in Asia, or in America. Even if they have the same logo. This is not true. Not even in a country. In Spain, we have service providers with the same name that in the north of Spain are very good and in the south are very bad. Same company. Why? Because over the years, they acquired different companies, but they did not integrate the knowledge. They did not train them properly. They changed the jacket, they blew a blue one, now a green one, changed the logo. That's it. Now you do services. No, it's not that easy. So many clients, many big companies are saying, I want an FM model, but please, I want to meet some others, a part of the 6, 7 big ones. This is a trend, and this is important for the big companies. The big service providers, they should be aware of this. So, this is the presentation about the trends. I don't think I'm the first one saying this. Facility management is changing as fast as technology. Most of the trends that I shared with you today, most of them are related with technology, are related with how fast you are realizing and implementing. And if we are not fast enough, when the neighbor is doing what it should be done a year ago, then we are late. That's why these sessions are good to at least be aware. I change this session probably every month. I do this session 10 times a year, and I am updating it. I do it for universities, I do it for end users, or for institutional associations or conferences like this. And every 2 weeks has changed. So it will be very difficult to be updated. But we need to know what's going on, because at least we need to know how far we are to be updated or to be with the last or the best solutions. The final part of my presentation is going to be only one slide with the information I can share for now, which is we will have the EuroFM conference in Barcelona 2020. It will be June. We're exploring with Goran, with the board, and with whoever wants to collaborate to give us an idea on how could we make it better. We're looking at the first week of June to make sure that it's after Ramadan, so we are open to all the possible attendees. Thank you very much.